Here they go into the back. The blue line on. We have a race, and Satnova's beaten Pure Steel out by a length and a half.
Welcome to Talking Trots, hosted by Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
The sensational Sydney sider Seals to Sam comes off the back straight. He's a bucket load of alliteration, this fellow.
Scott Bomber Hill will join the boys to look at the Friday night meeting at Gloucester Park, and Hayden King will find the winners for the weekend's racing.
Here comes Quinny. I'm the mighty Queen is 4 deep and letting go.
Sit back and enjoy Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
I'm the mighty Queen is just in front. Dasher VC can do no more, and the West Australian champion has done it again.
Hello and welcome to Talking Trots for another week. Really looking forward to this program of racing tomorrow night. We've got a couple of Group 2s for 3-year-old fillies, and then the Colts and Geldings, the Westbred Classics. Unfortunately, Michael Radley can't be with us again tonight, so you're stuck with me, Hayden King, but he's back in action. Glen, Mortimer. How are you, Morts?
Evening, Hayden. Great to be back with you tonight. Thank you for last week. Did a stellar job with Glenmore. Nice show, long show, was a good show.
It's always long when Silky's involved. Yeah,
certainly is. Doesn't mind a chat, Silky, but very knowledgeable, did a great job. Was away last week at the opening of our new Retrovision store out in Ellenbrook, which is why I couldn't be here last Thursday. Toughish night on the punt last week. Bomber down 2 units, but still managed the multi at around about $2.80. And when I was listening to the show, I heard that you threw a few out at Northam, Star Casino and El Casanova, and then Miss Lamar just missed at Gloucester Park, running second. Good to see Toby Lynn get his first win at Wagen on you, Friday night as well, so that was good. Big night last Friday night at Gloucester Park. A few just led and won, so that was pretty simple. Strong win led at Linger. Tough win in the breeze, well rated by Madison Brown. Prince of Pleasure walked the lead time, then Too Strong in the sprint home. Liked the run of Jumping Jack Mack, hit the line very, very well, will be improved by that, and of course goes around tomorrow night. Nice run-up start by Junior on You're So Fine. Cost him $200, but he got the lead and he got the win. Tough run Cordero, good drive Danny, and Henrik Larson can find a way to get beat.
And he did again on Tuesday night at Gloucester Park. So
just can find a way.
Yeah, he's a tough bunny to catch, Henrik.
Mr. Fantastic just had to hold and win, and he did. So we saw the good version of him at the track. Good win, Grand Coteau. Not sure what happened to Waterloo. $1.55 favourite. Never close at any stage in the race. And Louis Dior continued his good form, backing up from the win at Pinjarra on the Monday to take out the last race. GP Friday night, a training double to the very powerful Michael Young stable and a double to the Gary Hall Senior stable, driving 5 to Gary Hall Jr. on Friday night.
It's not often you'd say he's driven 5 and he's had a pretty average night, but I think we can say that because
could have had more.
Marengo Bay galloped. Never-ending galloped.
Yeah, so he was a bit stiff. And a double to Denny Roberts at Wagen. As we said, great for Toby Lynn to get his first win. Driving double to Corey Peterson. Northern Saturday night, Matthew Scott got a training double. The Shannon Savelco show with 5 winners there. Monday, Pinjarra, treble to Team Bond, 4 driving wins to Denny Roberts, a double to Mitch Miller. And Tuesday at Gloucester Park, the very powerful Michael Young stable, another double. Barry Howlett a double. Gary Hall Jr. a treble. And Chris Lewis a double. Very big week in harness racing.
Yeah, and as a side note, Denny Roberts is only 6 wins away from 500 winners. And incidentally, that will coincide with her 150th of the season. So she's banging on that door. Feels like just yesterday. I actually called her 100th winner at Northam. And that feels like a couple of days ago. And now she's already up to 500. She's been going
she's going exceptionally well. Very, very well indeed. And she's got some good drives tomorrow night. And so's, well, no, he doesn't have good drives, but he's got some good chances tomorrow night, our guest tonight. So.
Yeah, and we're about to catch up with him. Tonight's guest, he's got a couple of the leading lights going around tomorrow night. One of those saluted a couple of weeks ago. I speak of Justin Prentice, and Mighty Ronaldo was able to take out the August Cup only 2 weeks ago.
A run and back in the centre, battling on Petronas Star, himself the inside, the rest not really in it from Blitz and Bone, watching our coin. Mighty Ronaldo's doing it comfortably though, down the outside, trying very hard, Prince of Pleasure, in the middle Petronas Star, then himself, and running on late Tenzing Bromac, huge run, but Mighty Ronaldo races home to beat Prince of Pleasure.
Mighty Ronaldo, another feature race win in the August Cup, and as I say hello to you, Justin, thanks for coming on the program firstly. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks, Hayden. Mort, thanks for having me on.
Yes, great to have you on. First question that I know a few people are really wanting to know was what happened last Friday night when Never Ending galloped. Is he okay, and do we know what caused it?
He seems really good in himself. I mean, we're not 100% certain, but sort of going back over the replay myself quite a few times, watching it live, I thought he tried to go under the gate because I've seen his head drop down, which I know that without a head check, generally, he holds his head in one position. The only time he ever drops it's when he's extremely relaxed, which I knew he wouldn't be behind the gate. So I thought he tried to go under it. Talking to Junior, he didn't think that. I think he's just too fresh, just too keen first up, and his head sort of went down and then come back up and just sort of got out of his gear. So the head check's gone back on for this week. I try to keep him happy and took his head check off and seemed really good at home and in the trial, but maybe he just needs it on for the race, so it's back on for tomorrow night.
Well, hopefully that will do the trick. And we noticed throughout the race that there was looked like there was a bit of broken gear hanging down.
Yeah, he broke the noseband off his bridle, which Junior thought was the cause of him breaking because he felt like something sort of released, almost like the bit snapped. He felt the rein sort of go forward a couple of inches, and he thought that it was just the noseband snapping sort of released the bit somehow in his mouth. But watching it on the steward's film, that was unfortunately that happened after he broke, so we couldn't blame it on that.
But he's pulled up well, and he's all set for tomorrow night.
Yeah, it seems good in himself. His work's been good during the week. First time he's backed up, but maybe it's a good thing going straight back up there on the Friday a week later, and hopefully he remembers what to do.
Justin, starting off tomorrow night with Manhattan Moon in the first race, drawn gate number 3. It's a pretty trappy gate, number 3, especially over the 17. What do you see happening early?
Oh, I haven't looked at it too much. I know there's probably going to be a lot of horses pushing for the Westbred the following week, trying to get form. So it's probably going to be a pretty aggressive race, I'd say. He's a horse with plenty of ability. He's just hard to work with at home. Sort of get him doing the work. He wants to over-race and fire up, and we've sort of changed a few things, and we've had a different bit on him this week and at home, and he's been a little bit more controllable. He seems good in races, so hopefully we can sort of find a decent spot early. I think he's got the ability to be competitive in that race with the right run.
I was going to ask that question. He's a sort of horse that hasn't really raced with a lot of luck. On a couple of occasions he's contacted a sulky, or he's drawn bad, but yet he's still a reasonably performed. So you're fairly confident the ability's there? Yeah,
I'm definitely sure that the ability's there. He's just hasn't been sort of super tractable, but he got crossed a couple of times by 10 to the dozen, over a mile, and he ran a couple of really good seconds to him, and he was held up in the Pearl Heat. I thought he was a chance in the final if it was run upside down, which it wasn't, and he sort of seemed to get a bit lost back in the field. Didn't run on quite as well as what I expected. So hopefully tomorrow night he can sort of settle somewhere close to the speed, and we can see the best of him.
Yeah, it's an interesting race. There's some good horses out wide. We've got 10 to the dozen, Vegas Strip, the new came along. There's some really good horses out wide. So it's going to be an interesting start over the 17:30. Just try and get close and look for the right run.
Yeah, I think it can be a tricky draw. But I heard Hayden on the radio this morning say he's going to be pretty aggressive with the two. So hopefully we can. If he can get across the one, hopefully we can follow him across and get in the moving line, and then we don't want to be shuffled too far back. So over the short trip, we've probably got to come out as good as we can and just see where we end up.
Rambo Rabbit goes around in race number 2. Speaking to Junior in pre-race interviews about this horse previously, he said he can be a little bit hit or miss. It just depends on his mood, how he gets off the gate. But when he's right, we know he has tremendous gate speed, and I guess the question is that how you elect to play it tomorrow night from an inside draw?
Yeah, definitely we'll come out as hard as we can. He generally tries to, he wants to run the gate anyway. And there's just been a couple of times where he's sort of come out and then real quick for 50 and then switches off and can't quite get across the thing on his inside. But Junior thought he was going to get out better the first time at Bunbury until the false start, and then once the false start happened, he sort of maybe seemed to settle a little bit and he wasn't as revved up. So, I think his best sort of racing pattern's in front, so we'll be doing whatever we can to get there.
Yeah, last couple of starts, like you said, he's come out really hard and just hasn't been able to quite cross. There was one race there, then he got stuck out in the breeze for a little bit before getting cover. And the other start got some cover, but the thing about him is he down the straight he didn't give it away, even though he did an early burn and then got stuck wide. He didn't give it away.
Yeah, I thought his last run was better than the run before with a sit. I sort of tried to just lighten off him a little bit going into last start, and I definitely think he put in a little bit more. He's a really big horse, and maybe he's just sort of better on the rail, sort of rating his own race. He can sort of run some pretty solid times, and he just seems to be a little bit more switched on when he's on the rail in front and the horses are coming at him.
Yeah, it does look a race where his form probably warrants him getting the front anyway. She's a Bromac drawn to his inside, does have gate speed, but he is the classier horse. So we'll see what happens early. Race number 3, you've got Mr. Fantastic engaged. Good to see him back in the winners list last week, but it's a bit harder this week, drawn 3, and it's a classier field than he met.
Yeah, and he's another one that sort of runs his best races in front. Unsure why that is. He works like a real good horse with a sit at home, but just sort of tends not to let down in his races as well as you'd expect him to. And it probably, it looks like a pretty quick front line. The ones inside of us are both very quick. So, I haven't spoken to Junior. I'll leave it up to him anyway, but I'd imagine, we're probably going to drop 3 to cents and just drive him for luck.
Yes, I would be very surprised if you could get across the 1 and the 2. They're very quick out, but as Hayden said, it was good to see him win last start, and just depends which one turns up on the night. Race 5, the Allwood Stud 3-year-old Colts and Geldings Westbred Classic Group 2. Drawn the barrier 9, nice field, got some really nice horses inside, and of course there's 3 across the front there, and 1, 2 and 3 from the Hayden de Campo camp. So it's going to be an interesting race. How do you see it panning out, Justin?
No, I'm trying not to think about it too much. I'm just I'll just leave that up to Junior, what he thinks. He's the best at sort of reading the race and understand how he thinks it's going to turn out, and it's one of the reasons why I don't drive anymore, so I don't have to stress myself about that. But I think, there's going to be some horses that have to put themselves into the race early. There's no point them going back and then letting Hayden's horses control it. So otherwise they'll be extremely hard to beat. So I think, Junior's probably just going to have to see what happens early and decide whether he rolls forward or whether he settles early and then makes a a move when the speed tells him to. I think the horse is versatile enough, and we just got to hope he's on his best behaviour and puts his best foot forward, and I'm sure he'll run a good race.
I was going to say, might have drawn barrier 9 and had that slight hiccup last start, but still very confident he can get the job done, even though he's drawn out wide.
I'm confident in his ability. Obviously, it's always hard over 2100 from barrier 9 if the race is not run to suit and everybody's sort of out there to try and beat you. But I think his last run I thought was outstanding, and I really think he's sort of come back even better this time in his trial and his last run. He sort of really pulled up like he hadn't even been out there, and he sort of gave some of these horses a big head start and didn't finish that far from them. So hopefully we can get a decent trip into the race or early in the race at some stage, and if he does everything right, then I'm sure they're going to know he's there.
Yeah, you are right. It does look a thought-provoking battle early, because Magnus Victor has gate speed off the inside. Running on empty can really zip out for Hayden as well. Hayden, I noted in Ken Casellas' article, suggested that Sarita Ray is the pick of the 4. That's why he's gone that way. And the other thing I saw from that article was Gary suggested he would just take it easy on Never Ending Early and just find that rhythm first before he makes up any kind of decisions. And then you've also got Skylord, who'll be bent on holding that position advantage over Never Ending. So it's going to be a really tactical race, that Westbred Classic.
Of course, don't forget we've got horses like Rocket City who'll get a nice run through. Last week's winner, Louis Dior. So it's a really nice field.
Indeed, and similarly, race number 7, the free-for-all, it looks a crack lineup. We've only got 5 going around, but Justin, you've got Mighty Ronaldo. He's returned probably as well as ever. Is that a fair comment?
Yeah, I think so. I think sort of last time in, he probably just sort of done too well, I think, in the paddock from when he come back from Sydney. I think he just did too well, and he took a long time to get him. He looked like unbelievable when he come in, and just bigger and stronger than ever, but he sort of just held that weight for a long time and struggled to get it off him. And this time he sort of didn't give him quite as long off for that reason, and he's just been sort of his usual self this time. He's been a lot cleaner in the wind than that right from the start, and been super happy with his first 2 races and his work. Since his last start win, he's been just as good. So I expect him to run a good race.
Were you surprised? I was surprised to see him out in front last start. Were you worried at all, because he's normally been known as a really good sit and sprint horse, but there he was rolling in front. Yeah,
I mean, he's done so much work this prep in front, with them being out, not having somebody else that can, where I used to lead up and she'd sit on me with him. We've had to just sort of make him lead up, even though and put the blocks on so he doesn't shy too bad. But I think maybe it's helped him, in the long run. So I wasn't sort of worried at all that he would over race or anything, because he's used to it from this prep, and obviously he'd done a little bit early, and he backed off through the middle good. But yeah, I sort of looked at the race quite a bit, and it wasn't something I expected to see within the first couple of 100 metres with us in front, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, he did very well. And just while we're talking about, just find out a bit of information about a couple of other horses. Tricky Mickey, whereabouts is he at? He'd be looking towards the Golden Nugget in the 4-year-old races.
Yeah, we just gave him a bit of time off. Sort of, I didn't feel like he quite hit his straps last prep. Probably not quite at his best, and not 100% sure why. I had him looked over and everything like that sort of checked out okay. So we decided just to freshen him up and bring him back, and he definitely seems happy in himself. He was quite sour last time in, didn't really seem that happy to be in work, and this time he seems like his normal self. So he's hobbling, and we'll probably see him at the races in about 3 to 4 weeks.
El Chema?
Yeah, he's about 3 to 4 weeks away as well. He's started some decent hobble work now, and probably looks better than he's ever looked, I think. I think, it's been a better delight. You'd hope that he just got better and better as he got older, and he sort of, with not having hobbles on, and his manners have certainly improved. So hopefully they improve again this time in, and he's definitely got the turn of foot to, be a player in some better races. And if we can get him to settle in his races when he, comes off the gate and leads up, then I think he can go a fair way this prep.
Good to hear.
Yeah, well, just quickly back on Mighty Ronaldo, Justin, from that outside gate tomorrow night, and given that he is a noted sit sprinter, do you just take him back early?
Yeah, I'd think so. Junior sort of, doesn't like using him out of the gate. We've worked out that he's just generally better if we don't have to. I think, it's going to be hard to come from behind seniors horses and beat them, but it's we're not going to cross Wild West, I wouldn't think, from the one. I'm not sure whether they'll lead up with him. He's a good front runner, and the distance would suit him. So hopefully we're going to settle pretty close anyway, and we'll track one of his other ones into it, and hopefully that'll give him his best chance. Does it
give you confidence that Gary stuck with Ronaldo in preference to the other few from Hall's camp?
Yeah, it does. We sort of had a bit of a chat earlier on. I said he's going to do all bad, and trying to figure out whether I had to go on an extremely strict diet during the week or not. But he was sort of said he'd stick with him at least this week anyway, and it's probably worked in our advantage that there's only 5 in it, so he's only drawn 5. But obviously I love Junior driving my horses whenever he can.
Very good.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming on, Justin. Best of luck tomorrow night, and hopefully Never Ending can do everything right and add another feature to the list.
Yeah, hopefully. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me here.
Enjoy the footy, mate.
That's Justin Prentice, and really good with his time tonight, Glen, especially considering he had that. Yes, he's. I'd
say he probably had one eye on the football and listening to us talk, but he's got a great book tomorrow night. 5 horses there, and I mean they're all a chance. All a chance, I would have thought.
I did notice Never Ending went up $2.30 during the week. Did you quickly address that?
Wasn't that quick, unfortunately.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it went off very, very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely, it did.
Good price.
And you can understand why. He's
going to be a great race. Really good race. Plenty of good chances.
Much shorter at 160.
Lots of chances. What was I going to ask you? How do you pronounce? Is it Menemsha?
Menemsha.
Menemsha is the way it's pronounced. Okay. I must have said it incorrectly on the show a couple of weeks ago and got picked up for it, so I just wanted to make sure I got that right. You've got a starter in there tomorrow night at Gloucester Park too, Hayden.
Yeah, on the back foot. I was actually going to say, when you were talking about all the good horses drawn out wide, I was going to say you missed the best one. But
on the back foot. G Hall Jr.
It's good.
Which is very good considering there's other horses. I guess
it's good. He hasn't driven the best race on him the last couple.
Right.
I have let him know. Michael's let him know. He said he hasn't done anything wrong.
Right, okay. What are your thoughts on the race? Give yourself an each-way chance?
I'd be very, very shocked if he won. If everything went right, I guess he could be a rough place chance.
Yeah, okay. And then hopefully qualify for the big one.
That would be the big thing. If he could run a place, surely he gets a run next week. So hopefully he can do that.
I thought they were going to run preludes for the Westbred.
Yeah, I do remember that vaguely from 18 months ago or something. They said
that there was going to be no heats for the Pearl, and then that
because we talked about it on the show. Yeah,
they would have a prelude, and I haven't seen a prelude for the Westbred. It's worth $225,000, so it's a sort of race that if there's a path to make sure you can guarantee yourself to get in, I'm sure people would take it, but I just don't recall seeing it.
Yeah, no, good point.
Yep,
hadn't thought about it.
Have to follow that one up. No, I won't.
What?
No, it's okay. This segment is brought to us by...
You can't just stop halfway through the sentence.
Oh, I was just going to say, it would have been nice to have a prelude for the 3-year-olds because we missed out on a start with one of them, and I thought he might have at least been an emergency.
Fair.
But wasn't even in the top 14, so maybe I am a poor judge of form. But
well, you're in good company there.
Yep. Okay. This segment is brought to us by who?
Well, I've got one guess. I think it's something to do with Ellenbrook.
The mighty Retrovision for all the electrical stuff you love. Lowest price guarantee. And as you know, RAC members save an additional 5% every day at Retrovision. And you're right, Hayden, we just opening a new store out there in the Promenade in Ellenbrook. So get out and have a look. It's an outstanding store. We've spent... been no expense spared and spent a fair bit of time putting it together. So get out and see Mick and Moya out at the new store out there in Ellenbrook and tell them Mort's sent you and they will do you the best price in the world.
Well, I'm sure it's the most attractive looking thing in Ellenbrook. So I'll have to go out there and pay to visit.
Yes, and you can't miss it. Just when you come off Tonkin Highway onto the Promenade, you'll see the big red Retrovision down there. Pop in and see the team. They'll gladly look after you.
Sounds good. All right, we're going to take a break now, Glenn. And as we do, last week it was the Binshaw. And he also he was emptying out in those concluding stages, but he'd done all the dirty work and he had enough in hand to get the money.
Fellas, but You're So Fine bolted away. 28-2 the next quarter. It raced well clear. Armour X Factor runs up on the outside of Shell Patch. Now Al Capone runs home gamely into second place. You're So Fine clear stopping. Al Capone's flying. You're So Fine just in front. Al Capone won't get there. You're So Fine just wins from Al Capone. Third Shell Patch and fourth.
Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
Outside on the Black Flash in the straight though. Louis Dior is clear, trying very hard. Soradere further back on the Black Flash. Louis Dior's clear though from Soradere. Louis Dior in front by 6 metres to Soradere, and Louis Dior wins it well by 6 metres to Soradere.
Yeah, Louis Dior last week, he was the one who was able to capitalise on Never Ending's misfortune, and he looks a very likely type himself. That's now 4 from 4. Steps up to the big league tomorrow night, though. It's going to be a baptism of fire in the Group 2 feature, especially from the second row. But he did what he had to, and he did it in fine style, Glenn.
It was a very good run off the back of a win on Monday at Pinjarra, where had to do a fair bit of work in a nice field and was still too strong. So he's quite a progressive type, and the Beltons were down there barracking loud, and they were very pleased, and so they should be. And he comes into the big race tomorrow night, drawn barrier 12, but in very good form, so he's got to be a good chance. That's for sure.
Well, he'll be competitive, no doubt.
Certainly will.
Just before we get to Bomber, Glenn, this segment brought to us by
Loans 1, 2, 3. Car loans, personal loans, travel loans, commercial loans. Who do you see?
Loans 1, 2, 3.
The great man?
Steve Sell.
The Nude Nut, that's him. And you can contact Steve Sell on...
Yeah, I've got this one. It's on speed dial. 1800 100 100.
Still doing things the banks can't. Good man, Steve Sell. Give him a call there and he will get you sorted, and... haven't needed him much of late because we've been pretty good on the punt, so let's hope we don't need him on Friday night.
Hopefully not. The man who's going to guide us is Bomber. How are you, Bomber?
Very well, thanks, Hayden. How are you?
Yeah, very well. Hopefully we can get the cash tomorrow night. What are you doing to us, though? You're 7, 8, 9, 10. We're saving the ammo till late.
Yeah, keeping it up late tomorrow night. But, well, hopefully we can find a couple there earlier on just to keep us interested and then come home with a wet sail late.
All right, here's hoping.
And we kick off in race number 7.
Indeed, the Tab Touch free for all over the 25.36. Number 1, Wild West, is $2.45. 2 Blitzen by $12. 3 Jumping Jack Mac, $4.20. 4 Diego, $6.50. And 5 Mighty Ronaldo, $2.20. Who wins this?
Yeah, well, Mighty Ronaldo won't be strolling to the top like he did last time he won, but the small field, and I'm sure he's close enough at the 400, I think, and he's got a magnificent turn of foot to get over the top of them as a result. So the 3 all-runners in the field is obviously a bit of a concern, as there's sure to be some cat and mouse, but I think this guy can just be, 5 or 6 metres off him at the 400, and he has to come no wider than 4 wide, so confident enough his turn of foot will get him over the top.
Interesting race, Bomber. I must admit I was a bit taken back there when Hayden gave us the prices. I thought that Wild West would be a big improver, but I certainly would have expected a little bit better than 245, and 420 about Jumpin' Jack Mac was probably a little bit more than I expected. So interesting market. 220 Mighty Ronaldo. Do you think that's about right?
Yeah, I thought he was, he probably wins this race at least every second time they run it, I think. So, I think it's probably pretty well spot on.
So what's our staking plan there then in race 7, number 5, Mighty Ronaldo, Justin Prentice and Gary Hall Jr.?
Yeah, 2 unit bet more. So as I said, I think he'll just be close enough to use that turn of foot late.
I feel like I'm behind enemy lines here because my best bet's in this race and it's not Ronaldo.
The one will lead and win?
Yep, I'm confident.
Oh, look, I've got notes here against Wild West because I would thought going to be the massive improver and might get a slightly better price, but $2.45 was a bit short.
Any price is a good price about a winner, Glen.
It is. Well, I hope you're wrong.
Keep betting up, Hayden. Keep betting up. Hopefully we'll get a better
chips
price.
Chips in. And then I'll be parlaying it into race number 8, the Westrel standing start pace over the 25.03. Number 1, Brewery Lane is $23. 2, Cooper, $3.50. 3, Our Trump Card, $12. 4, Diamond Days, $31. 5, Diorce, $10. 6, American Bullet, $5.50. 7, G Smith, $19. 8, Soho Dow Jones, $2.35. And 9, What's Up Sunshine at $8.50. Who do you like, Bomber?
Yeah, I was very, very keen Our Trump Card down at Bunbury last time, and at the handicap, that the race just didn't turn out and gave him no chance really. So I just thought in this race here he should land a nice spot, and on a night where it's pretty tricky to find great value, he'll go around double figures, and so long as he steps, I think he lands in the first 4. And his form of the track isn't fantastic, but he's raced in much better grade than this, and I think he's racing well enough to be a real presence at the double figures.
Famous last words, as long as he steps. Heard that a few times in the stand. Certainly a very wide open race there, Bomber, that's for sure. So race number 8, horse number 3, Our Trump Card, trained by Hayden Hayter, driven by Dylan Edgerton Green. What's the staking plan there, Bomber?
Yeah, just the one unit in the stand, Mort. I know you're not overly keen on them, and he's going to need a little bit to go his way, that's for sure. Bomber,
just let me say, I do like stands when every horse steps. I think it's a great spectacle. It's just that,
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
But when they all step, some of the great Fremantle Cups from many years ago were over the 2,900 metre stand, and it was a great spectacle. But famous last words if they step. So hopefully we step on Friday night with Our Trump Card and get the cash.
Let's hope so.
Okay, we'll take a break now and we'll be back with some more after this. But before we go to the break, it was a terrific, gutsy staying performance by Cordero last week.
Unbelievable.
Did a lot of work off the mobile, sat in the breeze, still sent them packing at the finish. it was a dynamic performance. He was the big class dropper and well selected by Bomber, I will say as well. So as we go to the break, Cordero bounced back to the winners list last time.
Larson, 29 the next quarter. Around the turn they come. And American Bullets out wide after Cordero. Trying to come through now, Henrik Larson. Cordero's in front though. He's still in front. Holding American Bullet, Simply Shaz. This has been a big run by Cordero. And Cordero races home to win by 4 metres, American Bullet. A metre away third, Simply Shaz.
You are listening to Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
Has hit the front now. Drew clear by 3 metres. No times. On the inside is 5 Bangles. Rock and Roll Sass battles on. Down the outside, Miss Lamar. Also Diamond Valorant late on the scene. Don't Be Silly Chili, but has Let It Linger clear. In second place, Miss Lamar from Don't Be Silly Chili, but Let It Linger, tough win from the breeze and won by 3 metres to Miss Lamar. 2 metres, Don't Be Silly.
Let It Linger. It was another grinding performance. Brian Let It Linger to get the money last Friday. They were only home in 31 seconds, but she'd done all the bullocking work and she had enough in the tank to fend them off.
Good drive by Madison Brown too. That was an excellent drive to get the win last week.
I will say, I don't think I've ever seen Michael that happy after a winner. I think he's a pretty frosty character, but he was really delighted for the owners.
Pretty frosty.
Yeah.
Describe frosty.
Oh, well, just a cold-hearted man.
Right.
Who really
Is that why you've
much
had
satisfaction.
That's why you've had no sympathy for your shoulder.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I couldn't expect anything more from him, to be honest. But he was really delighted for the owners who purchased this horse going back, I don't know, a few months ago or something. But they've been able to recoup their purchase price and more because they bought her as a broodmare prospect, Carnup Racing, and they have got their money back more, and they've still got her as a really well-bred broodmare. So I think he was really excited for the owners.
Oh, very good. Good to hear, and it was a great win, well rated by Madison Brown.
Yep, absolutely. Now, just before we get into this segment, Glen, it was brought to us by
Bayswater Mazda, and as you know, driving is better with Bayswater Mazda on the corner of Garrett Road and Guildford Road in Bayswater. And I don't know whether you've seen the new CX-60 Hayden, but it is absolutely magnificent vehicle.
I haven't.
Lots of space, well appointed inside, very quiet, very economical, beautiful car. So get down and see the team down there at Bayswater Mazda. Great range, great service, and most of all, great coffee to go with their great cars. So get down there and see the team. Tell them we sent you, and I'm sure they'll look after you very well.
Next race we're looking at is the 9th, the Gloucester Park Pace. It's a free-for-all for the fillies and mares over 21.30. Number 1 is Star of Diamonds at $5. 2, Wonderful to Fly is $1.12. 3, 55 Reborn 19. 4, My Prayer 151. 5, 3 Rumours $15. 6, Sahara Storm 71. 7, Don't Be Silly Chili 100 to 1. 8, Miss Lamar 71. 9, American Armour 41. And 10, She's Our Hope $13. How did you see this one, Bomber?
Yeah, I'm actually really confident in the place here. This mare, she's come back into really good form. She's Our Hope. She gets the gun run 3 pegs, and I thought Wonderful to Fly just drew to ping straight on the top, and you know she'll just keep wheeling and dealing. And the only place to be with her running along in front is on the pegs. And She's Our Hope carved out a 55 and change last half from the 1-1, coming 3 wide around the turn, and while she'll be chasing similar sectionals here, she's going to have the advantage of the pegs. So I think she's a great chance to run a place.
What price the place?
$1.90.
$1.90. The place is not a bad price there, Bummer. Just going to be good to watch the mare go around again. Wonderful to Fly. It's always good when she's at the track. She's a star, so we'll get to see her go around, and you would think there from the barrier it is just a matter of by how far. But She's Our Hope, as you said, Bomber, on the fence there, driven by Aldo Cortopassi for Michael Cornwall. Place bet, race 9, number 10. What's the staking plan?
Yeah, she's a 3-unit place bet. I think it's a simple case of just follow the pegs, and yeah, she can't really go wrong. Nothing's going to come wide and make ground in this race.
Confidence, I love it. Very good, $1.90.
I've
nice.
just noticed as well, Miss Lamar is the scratching. That won't have any effect on the betting, though, in the 9th. The 10th is the Garrard's Horse and Hound Pace over the 21.30. Number 1, Name in Lights, goes around at a price of $15. 2 High Price, $2. 3 Art Revival, $81. 4 Henwood Bay, $12. 5 Joe with the Flow, $34. 6 I'm the Black Flash, $1.90. 7 Make It Happen, $51. 8 Longreach Bay, $21. And 9 Duty Bound, $17. Who wins this one, Bomber?
I think I'm the Black Flash, Hayden. He meets the lowest field he's seen at Gloucester Park, and whilst he may have looked a little flat last week, upon reflection, he did run 55 and a touch his last half, and he was chasing a couple of very good ones, and at a Future Star run over the top of him late. I only see one real danger in High Price, and he's a little bit average off the arm and no certainty to lead. In fact, Junior's gone with on the Black Flash, and yeah, I'm happy to back his judgment, so I think he can get the job done.
Who do you see leading in this, Bomber?
It's a tricky one, Mort. So it's a pretty even front line. I think High Price will be trying his best. He has led from 1 here
and
at
that
Gloucester
was the
Park.
17 start point.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, which is probably a harder one to lead from, to be fair, from inside. But yeah, there is speed outside him. I'm not really sure. I can't pinpoint it, to be honest. And that's one of the other reasons I come back to on the Black Flash. He's going to be pretty versatile.
You'd think that, like you said last week, when you first looked at the run, you thought, yeah, it wasn't overly impressive. But when you go back through the race and look at some of the sectionals, it was a good, solid first up run against some very, very nice horses. And as you said, I think he's certainly the standout here. And if he comes on from last start and gets into the race, $1.90 should be a good price, Bomber. So what's the staking plan in this one?
Yeah, I fully agree with that sentiment there, Morts. I think once you isolate that run last week, it's pretty good form for a race like this. So, yeah, we're going to finish up with a 3-unit bet as well.
I'm behind enemy lines again. I'm Team High Price.
Team High Price.
You think he can lead, obviously, Hayden?
Yeah. Oh, well, if I'm the Black Flash leads, it's over. But I think High Price could lead and give him a lot to think about.
Yeah. Well, from in front, he'll take some catching. I'm just not convinced he'll be there.
Yeah.
Well, if both of yours get up, Hayden, Michael won't be the only frosty one on Friday night, believe you me.
Well, at least I'll be happy. All right.
Good.
Bomber, do you have a multi for us?
Yeah, I do. Just a 2-legger. I couldn't let her go round without anything on. Race 4, number 3. My favourite mare, August Moon.
Yes.
Yeah, she'll just win this. She's just shown she's better than these. And then, I really like the run of Never Ending last week. I think we get a really nice price here as a result of a mistake last week, and I expect him to take care of them. So, yeah, just the double there, which will give us a bit over flip of the coin. We'll be happy enough with that.
Well, it's just under. It's petrol price, $1.98.
$1.98.
So there you go. That's good enough for me.
Better than bank interest.
Well, did you get the 2.30 Never Ending, Bomber?
No, I certainly did not. No, I think his value even now, the 2.30 was ridiculous.
Yeah, well, honestly, when I looked at the field, I thought, oh, yeah, $1.50, fair enough. And then later in the night, I went back and I looked at the flux and I thought, seriously?
$2.30, yeah. Don't know who got that, but wouldn't have been around for long, I wouldn't have thought, Bomber.
No, that's for sure.
So, weekend off, your footy team's not playing. Well, our footy team's not playing in the finals, but...
No, I've been able to sort of book September off for quite a few years now, Mort. So, yeah, that trend continues, unfortunately. Yeah,
Michael's still alive in the rugby league, so he'd be pretty happy with that.
His team's flying, yeah. They go into finals off a huge winning streak, so, yeah, he's up and about.
And what was your thoughts on the first running of the Eureka last week?
Yeah, I mean, I love the concept, and I thought that brought about a quality field, and for a filly to be able to get the job done was, it certainly wasn't something I expected. But I thought the promotion around it was all good, and the race itself was. I mean, I don't like Menangle racing generally, but the race itself was high quality, I thought.
Yeah, they certainly did a very good job of promoting it. I'll say that much for them, and it's something which I'm sure that we can learn from them because before we know it, the Nullarbor is going to be back around again, which is in April. So sounds like a long way away, but it's not. So hopefully hopefully we start to gather some momentum, because I thought they did a really good job of promoting that Eureka. And like you, Bomber, not the greatest fan of Menangle racing, but it was a good spectacle, and it's what harness racing needs, that's for sure.
And a very good chance that you may just be there next year too, Morts.
Oh, really? I wouldn't mind a trip across there. You're going to come with me, Bomber? We'll go across, and then after the race we can just slip down and watch the Bombers in the finals. It'll be about the same time.
Well, let's do that. Let's lock it in, because I reckon you'd have to be a massive chance of being there.
Oh, well, we'd certainly like to be, that's for sure.
Well, here's hoping tomorrow night goes well first anyway. Thanks for your time, Bomber. Good luck tomorrow night.
You too. Thanks, Hayden. Good luck to your runners, Morts, and to you next Tuesday night, Hayden.
Thank you very much. All right, that's Scott Bomber Hill. Hopefully some winners in store tomorrow night. We're going to go.
What was your thoughts on the Eureka, Hayden? You didn't. Did you watch the telecast and watch the race at all?
Yeah, I watched the race. I hadn't really followed the build-up or anything surrounding it, so I can't comment on that. And honestly, I didn't watch any of the pre- or post-race or anything to that effect. But the race itself was a good contest. It was a turn-up result with Encipher taking it out, which I guess is good for the race. And yeah, it was a top race, which many people tell me. I don't watch a lot of Menangle racing, but it was unlike most of their racing over there. So I guess that's a good thing, and it might encourage more people to watch and participate in Menangle racing. I saw pictures of the crowd. It looked like a really big crowd. I heard numbers of over 10,000. So
which is amazing.
In the modern day, absolutely
amazing. But I thought the whole coverage was good on, is it Sky Active? The coverage was fantastic right across the night, and the race was good. So I thought they did a great job, and their promotion leading up to it was very good.
Yeah, okay.
Very, very good, and it's something that we need to get better at here in WA with our own Nullarbor, because we've got the Nullarbor into the Freo Cup, so it's a good opportunity for horses to come across.
And speaking of horses that will be targeting those races, we're going to go back to last week, and the free-for-all last time was taken out by Prince of Pleasure, who was able to dictate and get it done.
Max steal the show, the inside in the straight. He hasn't moved on the leader. Prince of Pleasure leads by 1.5 metres to Jumping Jack Mac. Mia Culper on the inside, steal the show, then Blitzen by Prince of Pleasure in front. Drawing clear from Jumping Jack Mac. Coming through now, steal the show, but Prince of Pleasure wins it and wins it well. Steal the show, wins it brilliantly from a photo finish.
Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
He's out wider, not doing enough. Around the turn they run. Grand Coteau has raced up and taken the lead from Nasavira. Princess Katie is coming down the outside, and also Relatively Armour coming through, but Grand Coteau shot clear and is looking good. Princess Katie, Relatively Armour, Grand Coteau's in front, and Grand Coteau has won. Grand Coteau by 2.5 metres second.
Grand Coteau proved that Bunbury win was no fluke, with another impressive performance last Friday at Gloucester Park. Sat 1-1, then Denny gave it to it around the home corner and sent it home to win quite nicely. Beat home Princess Katie, who won again on Tuesday, so that endorsed the form further and shows even maybe the lesser ranks of our 2-year-old fillies below the top rung are still very capable.
Yeah, no, it was a very, very good win. That was the race with Waterloo in as well, so it was a good win. Easy.
Well, I mean that in the sense that Waterloo probably is one of our top seeds, but underperformed, and then you've got others like Exceptional Armour. This is probably the next brigade coming through, the Pretenders.
The Pretenders.
To be challenging for the throne.
It was a very good win, that's for sure.
Final segment, Glen.
Is brought to us by Steel Blue Boots, Australia's leading supplier of work boots. Whatever your trade, we've got your boots. Built for comfort, made for work. They are a mark of true skill. And they're designed for comfort, durability and choice, but they're backed by a 30-day, 100% comfort guarantee, which you just won't need because wouldn't even know you got them on, Hayden.
Like walking on clouds.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll have to get a pair. Weekend of pacing upcoming. We've got Kellerberrin on Sunday. They get underway at 1:28. There are a 7-event card. Then we roll into Pinjarra Monday, 12:42 the first, and Gloucester Park Tuesday, 5:20 right through until 9:45 there. You'll be staying up all night, won't you, Morts?
Of course I will, but one thing I will be doing on Sunday is watching Calabarin, because race number 5 is the North Eastern Districts Cup and assembled a very nice field. The odds-on has drawn the number 1, El Casanova, to be driven by Shannon Savelko. But nice race, nice field. But yeah, that'll go around very short and would be winning, you would think so.
He had to draw 1, 2, 3 or 4. I don't think it mattered where he would have drawn El Casanova. He'd be winning in any case. He's a smart customer and
certainly is.
Should continue on his winning way.
Certainly should. So yeah, nice little meeting there at Calabarin. Pinjarra Monday, and where are you going to have a look at Tuesday at GP?
Yeah, I'm just going to throw out one for Gloucester Park on Tuesday. Rebline. I've been on this horse for a while.
You have.
And she's getting right down in grade now. She's in the last 5 less than 8s for the fillies and mares. Draws in close. I'd be happier if she drew 1, but 2's okay. She should balance up close, and she'll give them a lot to think about late with that closing sprint she possesses. So race 4, number 2, Rebline.
Race 4, number 2, Rebline. Now you did throw this horse out one night at Gloucester Park. It was massive odds and did loom, but just died on the run. What race are we in there? We're in race 4, horse number 2. What are the main dangers in that then?
Unlucky, gets the barrier to be effective, and then
driven by Lindsay Harper.
Shahadi's drawn a perfect gate for her, but she needs luck. Honestly, I think if she can beat Unlucky, then she'll win the race. She does have very good gate speed, Rebline. Unlucky, she has shown gate speed over there in the east. It'll be another test on Tuesday, but I'd just like to see her balance up close, and I think she might have them for class, Rebline, especially with Shahadi locked up on the inside, so she'll be hard to beat.
Very good. Some nice fields there on Tuesday night at Gloucester Park. Some very nice fields. So race 4, horse number 2, Rebline for Hayden King. Is that the only one you have for us over the weekend?
I think so. I think Wild West will win tomorrow night, much to your
disgust.
Yeah.
I hope you're wrong, but no, look, I was very impressed with his first up run when he ran 3rd. I thought it was excellent, and last start was pretty hard to get a gauge on the way the race was run, but just thought 2:45 was a little bit short. But you obviously don't care.
Nah, it doesn't matter.
No?
Just wins.
Just wins?
Yep.
Okay. And
I'm just looking through the rest of the prices to see if there's... When I did the form Tuesday night, there was only one horse I really wanted to be on for the meeting, and that was Wild West. And I think that's pretty much been franked by the prices. I don't think there's anything crazy that we should be attaching ourselves to.
So when you do your form, and you do it without a market, which is good, so you're not swayed by that, you go through and you price it?
I don't price them, but I have in my head what an acceptable price should look like for the horse. I've never priced a race in my life. I don't know how, but you have a rough guide about, I think this horse will be this price, and if it's above that price, that's when you bet.
So obviously you thought it was the low $2, somewhere around there?
If I was pricing this race, I'd have him odds on.
Odds on?
Yep.
Okay.
I was hoping I was talking to someone last night about it, and he said, he'll be $4 at least. And I said, okay, how much can I have on with you at $4? And he said, $2.53.
$2.53?
Yeah. So I'm on to win $7.50.
Right. Okay. So you outlaid the $2.53 to get the return. Odds on, very short. And the other one you like?
Rebline.
Rebline?
Yep.
No, there was one other one.
High price.
High price. Later in the card.
Yeah, I think Rambo Rabbit will be hard to beat. I think he'll go to the front and probably win. We spoke to Justin, so he seems reasonably bullish.
Yeah, he kind of, just the last 2 starts, he's drawn 3 or 4 and just couldn't quite get there, despite showing good gate speed. The ones on the inside just wanted to kick up and hold him out, which was Bordy's undoing. But you would think from that draw there, the 2 should get to the front fairly easy, be hard to beat. Ashani Girl, back after a short break, was very good last time in. Bit awkward there in barrier 10, so the Rabbit should be hard to beat.
Ironically as well, both of these horses I like, Rambo Rabbit and Wild West, even High Price, they're all regularly driven by Gary Hall Jr., and he's chosen something else in the race.
True. So, but you've got pretty good replacements.
Yeah, well, Dylan Edgerton Green.
Edgerton Green, absolutely.
He's top 5. Denny's second best reins person in the state, and Stewie McDonald, he's clearly in the top 10 just for lack of opportunity.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And what else? What else do we like on the card there?
At Gloucester Park?
Yeah.
Well, I'm very hopeful that On the Back Foot will run a place. I think it could get out to double figures a place and you could have something on.
So if you were driving it, your strategy in that race would be?
Keep my cards close to my chest.
Right. Okay. Don't be blurting out what you're going to be doing on radio.
Honestly, I don't know. I've got no idea what Michael nor Junior want to do.
So have you looked at the 2-year-olds and thought where you could possibly be in terms of Westbred and what you might need to do on Friday night to get a start?
I think honestly, I don't know. I haven't looked at the criteria, but I think if he ran a place, he'd be in there, surely, especially in a lineup like this. I think Vegas Strip is one of, if not the best 2-year-old in the state, and 10 to the dozen brought himself undone from winning a $100,000 race last start, and Denny's sided that way as well, so I'm not sure if that's an indication. And then you've got Grievous, who ran second in that race. So these are some of the top seeds, and throwing Great Boulder as well.
That's a good winner, yep.
Yeah, we probably should have played that replay as well, because really pleasing to see him do most things right.
Yeah, yeah. The Vegas Strip, which you spoke about a few minutes ago, $7 to win the Golden Slipper. I think it's a pretty good price.
Yep.
Oh, were you surprised that Denny stuck with 10 of the dozen? Because she had driven Vegas Strip last night.
She did say in an interview, I think, that 10 to the dozen was her little baby, so maybe she's got that kind of attachment to him. She's been with him all the way through, so perhaps that's why. I'm not too sure. I'll ask her tomorrow night. I'm out there doing the parade ring, so
there wouldn't be too much between them, that's for sure.
Just a note as well, Vegas Strip is not parading, so I'll have to catch up with either Greg or I'll ask Denny or something for a report on Vegas Strip. He's it's in the gear changes. He's not to be paraded.
Okay.
Great Boulder was not really paraded Monday either, so they're just taking a cautious approach with these 2-year-olds, particularly ones that might have unlikely tendencies.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't blame them. But heading into the Golden Slipper, $7. That's pretty good value.
All right. Thanks for coming along, Morts. That's been a pretty good show, I think.
It has. You got nothing for me? No fables? No anything this week?
No.
No waking up at 2 o'clock thinking. No. Nothing.
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry to disappoint. All right.
That's all right. No,
Thanks, everyone, for tuning into another edition of Talking Trots. Best of luck. Head out there tomorrow night if you can, and we'll catch you next week.